Okay, I'm agreeing with Anders. A lot of, where are we interfacing? Is it outside? Is it inside the body? So I'm going to go through. I've called it enhancements. Maybe I should have put a question mark. Just one thing. People say, "Oh, AI is not." At the level of humans, some people might say. Well, the AI is different to human intelligence. AI in terms of computers of one kind or another, it has a lot of advantages. And if we're looking to enhance humans, improve what we do or change what we do, compared to human intelligence, the range of senses for AI is enormous. Humans sense a very, very limited spectrum of the world. Something like maybe like 5% of the signals in this room we can actually perceive. So if you use it linking up to AI, enhancing, increasing the range of senses, as Anders pointed to, communication, maybe we can send messages by pencil, a serial, very, very slow means of communication. Maybe we can speak very, very slow, very error-prone. Communication for computers is enormous in comparison. I mean, it's pathetic that we still communicate in the way we do as humans. Multi-dimensional understanding. Humans are limited. Our brains think in 3D. Oh dear. And the possibility of thinking in many, many more dimensions. Networking, clearly. I mean, this is, even Alan Turing didn't spot how powerful networking would be. This is as good as it gets for humans, whereas if you're a computer, of course, you're quids in with it. Memory has been pointed out, the possibilities there. Why do we actually remember anything as humans? We should outsource completely. Speed of processing, clearly a lot of you probably in the city particularly use the advantages of that. I'm just going to go through a few wildcards perhaps. RFID, identity. This is a picture of me long, long ago having a RFID chip implanted. What it did for me, linking me in some sense to the computer in the building. The point is with this that the technology can then do things for you if it knows who you are one way or another. This was, in a sense, not a BCI, but it was a very simple indication. And for me, it opened doors, switched on lights, things like, just to show technology can do things. I then didn't need to open doors, switch on lights. It did things for me just because it was me and it knew it was me. Increasing the range of sensors. This is something you can try at home. The picture on the left, I've got various students now who have magnets implanted in their fingers. It's a sort of pseudo BCI, I think. But it's great fun if you fancy trying it. And what we're doing is feeding in different sensory input, ultrasonics like a bat, infrared. The students can point and detect heat from a distance. So literally you can scan you're hotter than you are and things like that. It's all good fun. The range of sensors potentially that they can feel, essentially the magnet is vibrating more or less dependent on the signal. Range of sensors is enormous. The right-hand side is a picture of me again. This was one with the implant, the 100 electrodes implanted in my nervous system. This was converting ultrasonic signals, so with a blindfold on, I could detect how far objects are away. The brain is amazingly plastic. It's really adaptive to take on new signals, new abilities. We don't really use that plasticity at the present time, unless you're a stroke patient, perhaps. Improving communication, a couple of examples. Left-hand side is a student, Ashley. What he's doing is communicating via his tongue in a different way, sending small electrical pulses to show patterns and directions. And it's amazingly high speed interaction via the tongue. The right-hand side, again, this is my wife, and because she had electrodes in her nervous system, we sent signals from nervous system to nervous system. In the future, of course, it has to be an enhancement. Direct signals from brain to brain. It's got to be the way we're going to go. Colors, images, concepts, emotions, all those things we're going to be communicating in the future. One thing been mentioned in terms of perhaps life extension, perhaps improving on the medical side, Parkinson's disease can be treated with a brain-computer interface, a deep brain stimulation now. It also, we can take signals from the brain and understand more about Parkinson's disease and perhaps treat it better by the brain-computer interface, understanding what's going on in the brain. The same is true with Alzheimer's, dementia. Please Google or YouTube on rat brain robot, a robot with a biological brain, and you'll see this is looking at growing a brain in a robot body that we can then try and figure out what's going on in the brain. Stroke, epilepsy, Tourette's, even schizophrenia, where brain-computer interfaces have the potential either to allow us to learn more about what's going on or to actually treat in a technological way the problem. A few sort of real wild cards. Body extension. This was, the left-hand side was the brain gate, as it's called, that I did have implanted in my nervous system. One of the things it allowed me to do, the picture of me in New York, Columbia University, the robot hand was in Reading University in the UK. I was able to control the robot hand with my neural signals, so I was on a different continent. So my brain was controlling a robot hand here in England, and also I could feel how much force the hand was applying. So this is back in New York. So in terms of enhancing our abilities, one thing computer technology can do is extend our bodies. Our bodies don't have to be physically where our brains are. That has to be an enormous advantage. Direct neural control is an obvious one. The right-hand side, controlling a wheelchair directly from neural signals. Obviously, it helps people who are paralyzed, but it could be, it could be a car. It could be any piece of technology. You don't need to push buttons, operate levers, kick things. Just think about it. If you have the technology, you can get things to... The bodies are perhaps redundant, apart from the brains, that is. And then the left-hand side showing my wife with some jewellery that I could control the colour of directly from my nervous system. If I was calm, my wife's jewellery was blue. When I got excited, the jewellery flashed red. I'll leave that for your imagination. Thanks very much.